I know a lot of you are wondering how the recent FTC rulings might shake up Genshin Impact's GACHA system and purchases. What's going to change, and how will it affect the way we play and spend? In this video, I'll address your questions and walk you through what these changes could mean for the future of the game. We're going to explore what a potential new gacha might look like in Genshin Impact, covering everything from banner odds to parental controls and even influencer promotions. Have you ever wondered which character you play the most, and which one is just collecting dust in your roster? Hero of the Day helps you find out. This app tracks your character usage and team rotations, presenting the data in clear numbers and charts. You can check your activity daily, weekly, or monthly, and even compare your top characters. No account linking is required. Just let it run in the background, and it'll do the work for you. Hero of the Day is powered by Overwolf, a platform that collaborates with Hoyoverse to follow their guidelines, and over 400,000 Genshin players are using it. Download Hero of the Day from the link in the description and start tracking your Genshin activities today. The first change that will most likely be implemented is clearer banner odds. Right now, the odds of pulling a 5-star character like Mavuika are tucked away in the details section of the banner. Most players don't even realize they only have a 0.6% chance of pulling her on a single wish. Instead, banners highlight the guaranteed 4-star every 10 pulls, which can be misleading if you're not familiar with the pity system. Under the new system, Hoyoverse might need to make those odds crystal clear. Imagine seeing something like, you have a 0.6% chance to pull Mavuika with each wish. It would be upfront and leave no room for confusion. This kind of transparency could help players better understand what they're getting into. But here's a question: would seeing the odds displayed so boldly make you less likely to pull? Let me know in the comments. Next is simpler currency system. Currently, you buy Genesis crystals with real money, convert them into Primogems, and then use those to pull on banners. This multi-step process can make it hard to track how much money you're actually spending. In the future, Hoyoverse might let you purchase pulls directly with real money. For instance, instead of buying crystals and converting them, you'd see something like 1 pull costs $2 and 10 pulls cost $20. But here's where it gets even more interesting. There could be an option to directly purchase a character from a banner, like Skirk's banner equals $100. If this happens, I think it might actually be cheaper than pulling traditionally. Why? Because when we're pulling, we're not just getting the 5-star, we're also getting 4 stars, potential copies, or even hitting an early 5-star before the pity counter. But this raises a big question. If you can outright buy the character, will pity still stack for your next pulls? And how would that change the overall value of pulling versus direct purchases? This type of system could make spending much clearer, but it might also change the way we approach banners entirely. One thing that's been puzzling is why the FTC's ruling doesn't seem to take F2P players into consideration. Many players enjoy Genshin without spending a dime, relying on free pulls and grinding for Primogems. It's unclear why the focus is only on the spending side, as the game does offer ways to enjoy its content without paying. This raises questions about whether the changes will impact the overall experience for F2P players too. Now to the parental consent. Here's where things get tricky. Players under 16 would need parental consent before making any purchases. But how will this work? Will Genshin require players to upload ID documents? Will parents need to physically approve every purchase? It's unclear how this will be implemented, especially for global players. What's stopping a US player from just creating an account on another server to bypass these rules? And how does it affect F2P players? And honestly, how many parents will truly monitor this? If Hoyoverse requires parents to sign something or press a button to approve purchases, it could slow things down for younger players, but it might also make parents more aware of how much their kids are spending. Next topic is honest marketing. Banners like Mavuika's often create a sense of urgency with phrases like limited time only. They make it seem like now is your best or only chance to get the featured character. But in reality, your odds remain the same, and pity ensures you'll eventually get a 5-star after 90 pulls. In the future, banners might have to include clearer disclaimers. For example, on average, it takes 90 pulls or $180 to get a featured 5-star. This could help players make more informed decisions, but it might also take away some of the thrill that comes with pulling. Next topic is changes for influencer promotions. Right now, influencers play a big role in hyping up banners. You see them pull featured characters like Mavuika with flashy animations and lucky streaks, which makes you feel like you could get lucky too. But these promotions rarely show the full cost. In the future, influencers might need to disclose real odds or costs when promoting banners. For example, they could say, "It cost me $300 to get Mavuika on this banner." This transparency could help players understand the true cost of pulling, but it might also make these promotions feel less exciting. I've seen a lot of players asking, why is Genshin Impact being targeted by the FTC? But companies like EA, Riot Games, and Valve seem to avoid this level of scrutiny. It's a valid question. And to clarify, the difference lies in how each of these companies handles their monetization strategies and their impact on players. Genshin Impact's GACHA system is deeply tied to the core gameplay. Pulling for characters and weapons isn't just a fun extra, it's how you power up your team and progress through challenging content. This makes spending money feel almost necessary, especially for those who want to enjoy the game to its fullest. Compare this to Riot Games or Valve, where the focus is purely on cosmetics. In those games, spending money doesn't give you a gameplay advantage, it just makes your character look cooler. EA, on the other hand, is more comparable to Genshin in its pay-to-win mechanics, especially in modes like FIFA Ultimate Team. Players spend money on randomized card packs to build competitive teams, which can give them a clear edge. But here's the key difference. EA doesn't have a pity system or guarantees. In some ways, that makes it even worse than Genshin, yet it doesn't rely as heavily on emotionally charged marketing or younger audiences, which is where the FTC's focus tends to land. What makes Genshin stand out is the emotional attachment players have to its characters. Hoyoverse invests heavily in character design, voice acting, and storylines, creating a strong bond between players and their favorite characters. That emotional pull, combined with limited-time banners, creates a sense of urgency that can push players, especially younger ones, to spend more than they might realize. This emotional engagement isn't as strong in games like League of Legends, for example. In those titles, purchases are more about personal style or showing off in a match, not about making your favorite character stronger or even playable. And unlike Genshin, those games often give players a direct purchase option, so there's no gamble involved. Once again, this isn't my personal opinion. It's about why the FTC targeted Genshin. Their focus is on the game's GACHA system, which directly affects gameplay, appeals to younger audiences, and lacks transparency. With minors being a large part of the player base, the FTC stepped in to address concerns about spending pressure, unclear odds, and fair play, as outlined in their complaint. So, what do you think about these potential changes to the GACHA system? Personally, I think transparency is a step in the right direction. Knowing the odds, understanding the costs, and having clearer currency systems could make Genshin Impact, and GACHA games in general, feel more fair. Do you think these changes will improve the game, or do you worry it might lose some of its charm? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out Hero of the Day from the link in the description or pinned comment. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more updates.